on the Blitz. We start with our game of the week. Clinton on the road taking on Germantown with playoff implications on the line. Plus, the Petal Panthers travel to face off against Northwest Rankin and the Cougars. And Jackson Prep looks to remain undefeated as they square off against Madison St. Joseph. All the hard-hitting action and big plays start now.
And welcome into week 10 of the Blitz alongside Carlos Garcia. I'm Marissa Stubbs. Listen, Carlos, we're in the regular season still, but we got some postseason that began today.
Yep.
How we feeling?
I mean, our game of the week, we're going to get into it in a little bit, but massive playoff implications in that one is, like you said, a lot of the MAIS schools have already started their postseason play. We're going to have all those highlights here tonight.
We will. Should we get to it?
Let's do it. Let's start with our game of the week. It's Clinton and Germantown. The Mavs looking to end their regular season at home with a win that would get them in the playoffs. Need a little bit of magic. We'll start this one in the second play of the game. Started out hot. King White finds a wide open Trey Stevenson scorching down the field. He's going to open up the scoring for the Mavs, and they're up 10-0 already. Lawson Branson takes the handoff from one and gives Germantown the 16-0 lead, but Clinton fighting back. Joseph Walker hits Eric Beasley, weaving his way through the defense on the screen, and he takes it to the house for an arrow score. But the Mavs back on offense. Branson takes the handoff, gets lost in the pile of bodies for a second, and there he goes down the sideline into the end zone for another score, but those arrows were not done yet. Jacoby Williams soars like Superman and scores, breaks the goal line to give Clinton 7 more points. Now after halftime, Clinton seemed rejuvenated. Joseph Walker dumps it in the bucket for Jaden Hollins, but on the very next play, the onside kick attempt from Clinton, it's recovered by Keyshawn Coleman, and look at him go. Coleman takes the onside kick all the way to the crib, and at this point, the Mavericks are hyped. They're living it, but Clinton not done yet. Another beautiful rainbow ball here from Joseph Walker. He's gonna find Duke Johnson for 6 more, and he's gonna jaw at his defender after that one, letting him know, I took you all the way to the end zone. But in the end, the guy who made Clinton suffer all night long, King White, carries the defender to the goal line and puts the nail in the coffin for Germantown. The Mavericks run wild from their stables, and they win by a flip score, 53-35. And now one step closer to the postseason. Mavericks head coach Russ Mitchell spoke about what the win means.
Just really, really proud of our kids. I looked up there before the game, man, proud of our community, how packed the stands were. It just feels really good to be a Maverick right now.
Just a great game there. Let's take one more look at the final score. So as Carlos mentioned, Germantown came out on top, 53-35 was the final. I mean, just a great game there by both teams, Carlos.
Absolutely. Last time we had our game of the week at Germantown was against Warren Central, not the outcome that the Mavericks wanted, but this time showing that they're worthy of a playoff spot. They'll need a little bit of magic next week. They need Clinton to lose to Madison Central for them to actually get in. And speaking
Another tough team to beat.
Absolutely. And speaking of Madison Central, let's keep the action going.
All right, why not? Yeah, we're going to take a look at Starkville on the road taking on Madison Central. So it was senior night at Madison Central as Jaguars coach Toby Collins presented every senior with a rose before tonight's game with Starkville. The Jags were chopping wood early. Check out the big hit from Calvion Johnson to force the Jackets into a 4th down. Now, Madison Central's Glenn Singleton led his team all the way to the 20-yard line right here, but the drive stalled and they were forced to settle on a 36-yard field goal from Ross Hardin Beavers. So we're going to see shortly the Yellow Jackets use their version of the tush push, I should say. We know the Philadelphia Eagles know how to do this one. They got the touchdown. Starkville took an 8-3 lead into the break, but the Jaguars stormed back in the second half for the win. The final of this one, 31-8.
All right, 6-2 Terry, the Bulldogs hosting the 8-0 Hattiesburg Tigers. We'll pick this one up in the start of the second quarter. The Bulldogs up 14-7 with the ball inside their own 20. Quarterback Deuce Vance chase out of the pocket, calling the NRA, throws a rifle to his receiver, Xavion Hartzog. Move the sticks there. First down, and next play, Tigers quarterback shoots a cannon to the end zone, finding his receiver, Tyree Barnett, wide open, adds 6 more there and the extra point. So Tigers and Bulldogs go into the half tied up at 14 all. Third quarter, Bulldogs deep in Tiger territory. Brady Busby flees one up. It's picked off. Tigers' DeMarcus Baker taking it back almost all the way to a pick six. And a few plays later, the Tigers with the go-ahead dive to finish off the drive with the score. Hattiesburg goes on to win this one 28-14.
All right, let's go over to Petal versus Northwest Rankin. Petal QB tries to run and keep this one, but he doesn't get far. So on the next drive, Cougars looking to score. QB Gavin Phillipson throws it up, but it falls in the hands of the wrong guy. So a great interception right there. Now in the second quarter, Phillipson gives this one to the running back Trip Weekly, and he started off so good, but he loses the ball. And the Panthers would take back over and win this one 20-10 was the final score.
All right, we got more football on the way. We'll see what the MAIS teams have in store for us. More on the Blitz coming up next.
Just like that. Welcome back to the Blitz. Now let's go ahead and continue with our action, Carlos.
That's right, Marissa. Let's take a look at what our MAIS schools have in store for us.
All right, so Starkville Academy stepping on to the battlefield with the Copiah Academy Colonels. We start in the first quarter. Copiah Academy on their own 20-yard line. That's when the big running back, Baby Bettis, takes it in. Put 6 on the board for the Colonels. Now, later in the first quarter, Copiah has the ball near the 45-yard line. Quarterback in the pocket launches it to his wide receiver and catches the ball inside the 5-yard line. And that sets up the next play. Quarterback getting some action, takes it in for 6. The Colonels just striking. Now, the Colonels would decide to go for 2, and they would get it. Now, 15-0 Copiah Academy lead. Second quarter action. Colonels near the 50-yard line. That's quarterback under pressure. He's going to toss this one to his running back, Baby Bettis, running it for 50 yards to the house. You can go ahead and add 6 more to the board, plus the extra point. Copiah Academy takes it all, winning 36-7.
It's a battle of 8 and 2 teams. Hartfield travels to Jackson Academy, the 7th meeting between these schools at the Brickyard. JA is up early 3-0 after the first, but in the second, Hartfield capitalizes on an interception by Coleman Yoder, which set up this scoring touchdown there. And on the next drive, Kenzie West bounces to the outside from 2 to give the Hawks a 14-0 or 14-3 advantage. The Raiders then respond with this. John Thomas, look at that bomb. 75 yards to Pruitt James. HA's up 14-10, and after halftime, the Hawks found the end zone again as KD is going to run this one in from 4 yards on the handoff, punching it in. Hartfield leads 21-10 at this point, and Kingston Mays helped made it a one-score game late in the third. His first touchdown of the game, scoring this one in from a couple yards out, putting JA a little bit closer to Hartfield, but Kenzie West, he's going to score and ice this one. 53 yards, a minute 23 left in the fourth quarter, and Hartfield's going to end up winning this one. This one goes to Hartfield, the big win over JA, and they'll improve to 9-2, 28-17. All right, now coming off another big win last week against MRA, the 10-0 Jackson Prep Patriots took to the road to square off against the Madison St. Joe's Bruins. In the first quarter, we're going to start with Parker Puckett. Wide open, not a defender in sight. Quinn Major putting up Prep 7-0 against the Bruins, and on the subsequent drive, T.H. Oswald, he's going to fumble. It's recovered by St. Joe's, so now the Bruins have great field position. So now it's their turn to try and put up some points on offense. Couldn't do that, so St. Joe's punter puts it up into the crisp autumn air. Major Quinn, the day after Halloween, conjures a spell of speed, and with a thrilling 70-yard return, weaving through defenders like a ghost in the night, breaking tackles with the ease of a phantom, he haunts the end zone and casts Prep lead to 13-0, delivering that post-Halloween scare. But Oswald, this time, his name is in a good way, shines again. His third touchdown of the night, an impressive 20-yard run to the outside, and it's still not even the second quarter yet. And as the first half concludes, Prep attempts to intercept this pass from Drew Wamble, but Eli Daniper makes an incredible catch, leaping over a Prep defender 80 yards for the score. He's going to walk it in. However, St. Joe's misses that PAT, but ultimately it was Prep who dominates this game, and they pull away late, maintaining their undefeated status, 56-13.
Now let's go over to MRA versus Presbyterian. PCS executes a quick slant to Jet Henderson, who rips off a 40-yard gain. And on the following drive, Samuel Stockett takes the snap and hands it off to Michael McCory, who glides past defenders for a touchdown, extending MRA's lead to 28-10. Now next, MRA continues their momentum, handing the ball to Jackson Jenkins. You see he scored his second touchdown of the night. Now we will resume the action in the third quarter. That's A.J. Parker taking the handoff. He powers through the defense for a 20-yard run. In the end, MRA dominates with a final score of 49-17.
All right, let's go ahead now and see some of the other games from around the area. Clinton Christian Academy traveling to Columbia Academy. The Cougars win this one 43-8.
And St. Aloysius, they took on the Winston Patriots, but this one was close. Aloysius came out on top. 33-27 was the final.
And Park Place Christian Academy, the Crusaders tried to keep it close, but Porter's Chapel, the Eagles soaring high, 48-22 the final.
All right, well, hey, up next, we step away from the football field to highlight this week's Blitz 16 Player of the Week winner. Stay with us. More of the Blitz is on the way.
You're watching the Blitz on 16 WABC.
Welcome back to the Blitz. It's now time to honor our Blitz 16 Player of the Week. So, senior quarterback Garrison Davis out of Holmes County is our lucky winner last Friday. Davis finished with 276 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, earlier today, he spoke about his performance and winning these honors.
You know, it was a great experience. I want to thank the coaches for just a great game plan, allowing us to go out there and play. And I thank y'all.
All right, one more question. Just talk about what it means to win the Blitz 16 Player of the Week.
You know, it means a lot. I want to shout out to the student body, the faculty, my teammates, O Block, D Block, 4K. I appreciate y'all. Without y'all, I wouldn't be here.
Now, we also caught up with head coach Marcus Rogers, and he spoke about the kind of leader Garrison is for his team.
He's a special young man. I've been knowing him since he was a baby, growing up out there in West Jackson, and he's everything that I thought he would be. He's grew into a young adult, and he's a hell of a football player. Yeah, talk about his performance last week. 4 touchdowns, 276 passing yards. What was that like watching that as a coach? It's just poetry in motion. Mm-hmm. We work on it every day, so we like to know that we prepare and we plan to get for him to be successful and for the team to be successful. His best days are ahead of him. Mm-hmm. Whoever gets him on the next level is going to get a steal.
All right, now time is running out to nominate your next player of the week. So here is how to do it. In an email, send Carlos and myself the player's name, classification, school, position, and of course their stats from their game. Our emails right on your screen. You have until Sundays at 4 p.m. to submit your nominees. The nominees will be announced Sundays during our 5:30 p.m. newscast. Remember, the voting window opens on WAPT.com after the nominees are revealed at 5:30 on Sundays, and the voting window closes Wednesdays at noon. All right, we go back out to the football field for more highlights. More of the Blitz is on the way. Don't touch that remote. And just like that, we are back.
That's right. Let's continue our action. It's Oak Grove on the road at Pearl. The Pearl Pirates looking for their first district win in this one. And the QB's going to air this one out. Connects with wide receiver Kenji McNair. You can go ahead and move those chains in the first down celebration. Next play, Pirates handing it off to the back, but he's going to get stuffed at the line. Defense all over that one. And on the next play, Pearl inside the 10, they fumble. It's scooped up. Oak Grove heading the other way. And look at Zero Go flying to the house, and that was the story all night long. Oak Grove wins big, 41-13.
Now we go over to Neshoba versus Ridgeland. Neshoba leads the Ridgeland Titans 14-7 in the third quarter. The Rockets' Makai Gaddis breaks through the line for a 55-yard run. Will Williams would then keep actually, we're going to let him run this ball out, okay? Because this was a big gain for Makai, and he is still on his feet. So we go over to the next drive, and right here, Neshoba would have to kick the field goal because they would go up and win 17. They would go up 17-7, then they would go on to win 23-7. All right, now let's take a look at Gentry taking on Canton. So the 6-2 Canton Tigers hosted the 1-8 Gentry Rams. Malik Walker, soon as the drive starts, he's going to hit the left side of the line for a small gain. And then, hey, on the next play, the Tigers defense would stop Walker right in his tracks. He goes nowhere. Now, on Canton's next possession, Eric Gilkey III, he hits Jamarian Shields for a touchdown. Tigers go up 7-0, and Canton will win big, 48-6.
All right, Marissa, let's go ahead and check out some of the other games around the area. Brandon Bulldogs getting the big win, 42-14 over Meridian.
All right, well, Holmes County Central Jaguars, once again, they took on the Cleveland Central Wolves. They won. Well, actually, they lost 35-19.
Tough one, that one for the Jags. All right, Jim Hill and Forest Hill facing off. The Pats get the big win, 30-6.
And we go over to the Natchez Bulldogs. They took on the Provine Rams. A close one. Actually, it wasn't close at all, but it was a low-scoring affair. So Natchez would come out on top 7-0.
One-score game in that one. Defense wins championships. All right, Macomb blanking the Raymond Rangers. Tigers win 42-0.
Oh, now we had a close one between South Jones and the Florence Eagles. South Jones won 23-17.
All right, get ready for the best plays of the night, the high five, the top 5 plays of the night, coming up next on the Blitz.
We're Madison Central RTC. And I'm Rosa Scott RTC. And you're watching Blitz 16!
Welcome back. We close out the Blitz with the best plays we saw tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's time for the high five, the top 5 plays of the night. Here we go.
All right, so let's go to Canton's Eric Gilkey III. He hits Jamarian Shields for a 35-yard touchdown, and he is not going to be brought down. Look at him just looking at his defenders as he passes them by. All right, now, number 5. How about you go ahead and read that, Carlos?
All right, number 4 now. Are we on number 4? Still celebrating there. All right, now we're on number 4. It looks like this is prep. There we go. It's Drew Wamble to Eli Daniper saying, "You got ma, son," making an incredible catch, leaping over a prep defender and taking this one, seeing green in front of him, 80 yards to the house.
All right, now let's go over to Pearl versus Oak Grove. This ball is fumbled, and guess who picks it up? Jamar Pittman. He scoops it, and he's gonna take it all the way to the house for 6. No one is catching him.
All right, number 2, you saw this play earlier in the night. St. Joe's, the Bruins, punting the ball away. And if you're a Jackson Prep fan, you've heard this name all year long. Major Quinn, juking defenders left and right. Nobody can tackle the Major. Making a call to the General, taking this one to the crib, 70 yards for the score.
I mean, it really doesn't get any better of that, but we're gonna go ahead and go to our number 1 play, our top play of the night. Now, in the game of the week, onside kick attempt from Clinton is recovered by Germantown's Keyshawn Coleman, and he's gonna take the onside kick all the way to the crib. I mean, Carlos, we can't say enough about that game at all.
That was a small picture of what the game of the week was. I mean, second half, first half was a little slow. Germantown came out hot, but in the second half, both teams were it was a shootout, a barn burner. Like, they were just firing on all cylinders.
Right. I mean, I'm pretty sure both teams brought their crowds, and the crowds just make the games even better.
They showed up.
Oh my God, we got the postseason still lined up for us, so that's gonna be really good.
So plenty of great games left.
Any matchups that impressed you tonight?
Game of the week.
Game of the week. Okay, it's always game of the week. But that's the one you go to.
But obviously, it's because the playoff implications.
Right.
And, you know, Germantown, they thought their season was going to end tonight, and the seniors running off the field at the end, number 77, we talked after the game. He was like, "I got one more in me, coach." He kept saying that the whole time they were shaking hands and going off the field. So I know those seniors are pumped.
Okay, that's good. Well, hey, you got another couple of weeks left in your Blitz. All right?
I do.
We got about 2 more weeks left, then we got the postseason. So, hey, we're going to be right here. You guys know where to find us. Remember, you can catch Joe Cook right here in the morning, 10:30 for 4th and Goal. He's going to be at Mississippi State tomorrow for their homecoming. So, me and Carlos are going to see you guys next Friday. For now, that'll do it.